What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Everything Paranormal Show, where we're also doing Beyond the Veil tonight stuff, divination. So myself, Josh Morris, and Stacy Talich joining me. So how you doing, Stacy?
Doing good.
That's good.
Normal Thursday. Awesome.
Normal. And we may touch a little bit on the Russia-Ukraine stuff tonight. Who knows? We have been touching on it in some of our previous divination stuff. So it's definitely a topic out there. So, but we got a lot in the store for you guys. And again, we're going to do some tarot readings for everyone in the audience, and you're not going to want to miss it. You're not going to want to miss it because if you tuned into this video, then you're going to want to watch this because there's a message for you in here. Okay. So Terry Lynn says, "Hey, handsomes." So thank you. So got my hat on backwards tonight. I just felt like backwards. I don't know why. I just thought it'd be cool tonight. But let's see. I'm gonna give myself a little more room with my nice little candle there. You guys like that? I did that. I made that. That's the feminine side of me. All right. So I have to agree with Terry Lynn. I think there may have been at least one possible life where I was female. So that's as far as I want to go on that. I mean, I don't know what I would prefer, but I know right now in this life, I like being a male. So I'm gonna leave it at that. All right.
What is this gender?
Right. Well, like I said, maybe in the next life I'll be a female or something, or maybe I'll be a furry. Who knows? That'll be cool. I'd like to try that one out. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? I'm not trying to make fun of people. Don't get butthurt. It's all positivity here. We're all about positivity. We just like to have fun. Okay.
So got to tell the story of our son and the reading.
Oh, so okay. So if you guys remember yesterday, if not, you can watch yesterday's show. I did a tarot reading for our son Christian. So today was going to be the first scrimmage, for his Tennessee high school team, for Tennessee high school, for the tennis team. And, it was like a big ordeal. Everything was going to be all set. Well, at the we're talking last minute, we're talking cooler in the car, everything else. And then the coach was like, "Hey, he can't play." Basically, he can't. At first, it started out he couldn't ride the bus. And then it was like, he can't play. So, and I mean, it's not like discrimination or anything. So I don't want to you can't sit here. No, I mean, it wasn't like that. But it was because our son attends an online public school, and the local high school, we filled out all these forms, and apparently it wasn't accepted. Anyways, long story short, he's not on the team, and this is last minute. So that sucked really bad. It was kind of like this bombshell. But at the same time, so the reading, when I did the tarot reading last night, I don't remember the exact two cards. We'll have to go back. But one of the cards was about moving from one thing to another sort of secretly, kind of, taking your assets somewhere else. And the other one was patience. But the other one about taking your assets somewhere else was also about stealth, being stealth about it. So I read that as the two cards meaning for his playing, for how he was going to play. But what's odd is I got thinking about it, and I told Terry Lynn, I said, his reading, and if you go back on it, his reading actually was probably saying, "Hey, be patient, but your talents can be used elsewhere." You know what I mean? You may, whatever. So this could be a sign. So cards we may have misread. Sometimes it happens, but it was there. I think the signs were there.
Yeah,
so
it can be applied I mean, you're applying it in the right direction. It was just
Right.
not on the specific topic.
Right. So it's just interesting. So I thought I'd point that out. So, but guys, hey, if you want to throw pairs out for our son, for him to get on the team, that's all he's been wanting to do is get on the high school tennis team. And the funny thing is like they really want him on the team because he's amazing. Like he's one of the top players and he's a freshman.
Mhm.
So the team, the coach, they really want him. Trust me, like they want him. But it's just technicalities. So we're looking at some things. There's some possible stuff. So we'll see. So keep your fingers crossed. I almost am afraid to do any kind of tarot readings on that, to be honest with you. Like I almost don't want to know, but yeah, our son's just been a wreck all day long. But we're there for him and we talk to him, and his friend, that's a girl, has been talking with him too. So all right. So, let's go ahead, folks, and let's look at tomorrow's daily reading. I always like to start us out with that. Stacy, how did your day go today? Did you follow any of the advice from today? Any guidance?
Well, my guidance yesterday was basically to hodl, which I did. Don't sell. Just it's written in the stars kind of stuff.
And, yeah. How do you feel? Do you feel like it might have helped you out on that?
Well, I've been doing that for the last 3 years, but there's always new stories that come out that kind of freak you out, as an investor of any kind, where you're like, "Ooh, got to pull my stuff out just to, keep what I got," and it's all head fake. So it's you wait a few minutes or wait an hour or two, and you realize that it's all BS, and you move on. So.
All right. Well, let's see what tomorrow holds. Maybe tomorrow will be a good day. Let's see. So, Tarot, I want to ask you if you could give all the viewers, this is a very important message. So, for all of you, you definitely want to watch this. We got some more messages later you're going to want to watch. So, stick around. Don't go anywhere. We do a lot of extra little things throughout the show. So, I know sometimes people they get a reading and they just bail. Well, hang out, man. There's other things. Sometimes we do general readings for people. But anyways, Tarot, like I said, if you could please just give us that guidance for tomorrow, all the viewers, anybody watching this, what's going to be the message for tomorrow? All right, here we go. Okay. And we'll cut the deck. There we go.
Hey, Marcy.
You're right here. There we go. Hi, Marcy. All right. Here we go. So tomorrow we have the High Priestess and the Eight of Wands. So I'm going to read for you guys. I always like to do that. The High Priestess. This is going to be fun. The High Priestess represents the knowledge and enlightenment that we obtain from overcoming difficulties. Okay? And we must learn about our intuition, how to trust it, and when to seek guidance from others. So this is that wisdom from experience, insight, and counseling. So let's clarify. That's what this other card right here is. That's what our Eight of Wands is. And let's see what the Eight of Wands is going to give us for clarification on this. And then I'll kind of give you guys my take. So Seven of Wands. The wand cards are usually pretty optimistic, I think. I mean, I've always felt that.
Is it 7 or 8? It looks like 8.
It's 8.
Okay.
Was I saying 7?
Yeah, you said 7 of Wands.
Oh, I'm sorry. 8 of Wands. I don't know. I actually looked up 8 of Wands, but you know what I mean. Okay, so 8 of Wands. Be focused and intense. Let nothing distract you from your goal. Okay, intensity and drive. So I think, this is me, but I love these two cards for tomorrow. This is optimism. This is focus. I mean, think about this, folks. You have the High Priestess tomorrow, which is like that experience, right? It's wisdom from experience, that divination. So tomorrow you're going to go in and things that you have learned from, this is your chance to be an intense and focused for that and apply those things. So I think tomorrow is going to be about, your experience coming through. And as long as you stay focused on using your experience, it's going to get you through tomorrow. I like that.
Awesome.
I like
go
it.
to the doctor.
You like these cards, Steve? I like them.
Yeah.
And just show you on this camera. There's the High Priestess. My name's in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And the 8 of Wands. Yeah, the 8. Oops. All these reverse angles like irritate. Okay. All right. There you go. All right. Well, Marcy, we are doing good. If you would like a reading or Dowsing Rod session, we are in business of doing those. Okay. But yeah, I'm so happy about that. That's a really good card for tomorrow. I really like that. I like when we just get some good solid readings for tomorrow. I feel like for a Friday, it's almost like you want to get that weekend. You know, like you're right there at the end of the week. You want the weekend. It's right there. And this is the time to get focused, use that experience, your wisdom that you've learned, probably maybe even things that you've dealt with in the past. And now you have that experience. There's going to be some reoccurring things tomorrow that you're like, hey, I've been there, done that. I'm going to get through it, you know. All right. What else? What else would you guys like to know? Is there any other things for tomorrow? You guys want to know some, let's just, you know what? Let's have fun. While we're waiting for anybody to come in here and do any readings or anything, I want to have some fun. Let's look at relationships for tomorrow. Yes. Let's just see how you're going to get along with maybe your significant other tomorrow, right? Let's take a look. Might as well.
I hear Terry Lynn rolling her eyes upstairs.
Right? No, I mean, as long as you don't get the death card. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to jinx anything. So, we'll just see what happens. Tarot, if you could give the viewers a chance, could you please give us some guidance on tomorrow, on Friday? Obviously, while we're being focused and intense on things, how's our relationships going to go tomorrow? Like, how are we going to get along with our spouse while we're doing this? Or, our, like I said, significant other? Okay? Let the viewers know. All right. And I actually feel like we need to reconstruct that back. All right. And I see here's the 2 I want. That's what I'm pulled to. Okay. So we have the 10 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. So this isn't real bad. This is just going to be a little clarification on just a little bit of possible mix to things tomorrow as far as clarifying stuff. But let's look. And I want to read you guys some stuff here. I've already got a little bit of idea of where we're going with this, but 10 of Pentacles. So this one's going to be that you're going to embrace or seek the fulfillment that comes with a partnership that will help you both obtain a great and safe life. So how cool is that to get that as your main card when we wanted to know about partnerships? Guess what? We just pulled like an amazing one saying to embrace or seek the fulfillment with a partnership that will help you both attain a great and safe life. So the symbolism, of course, is like a family of 3 generations explores a city together with their dogs. There's a picture of wealth and happiness. This is long-term gains, folks, and inheritance. Okay. Now, 3 of Swords as a clarifier. Now, I do want to clarify this. Okay. So our 3 of Swords, which should be right here. This is the one that I was saying, this is where it's kind of getting mixed results. You must find a way to face the frustration and sorrow of the situation or relationship. So sorrow and cognitive dissonance as a clarification to that long-term goal. So I think in this is just going to be a little bit of mixed opportunity. So I think that really what this intuition is telling me is that tomorrow I think we have great opportunity for stuff. But at the same time, just be careful. There could be some mixed results. This there's that cognitive dissonance. Some of you, okay, some of you are going to be in a relationship that isn't solid. Okay, I don't want to sound negative, but I feel like that's where some of this is. Like, when you have some people that are like really solid, they're soulmates or lifelong partners, whatever, that this is not going to be an issue for them. Tomorrow is going to be about some long-term gains and things. But I think that some of you, and this is where that this is where the Three of Swords comes in. Some of you have that cognitive dissonance. You kind of believe that your relationship is in a place where it's probably long term. You think in your mind, but you have to face the reality. It may not be. Just throwing that out there. Okay. So I didn't want to be negative, like after such a positive card. But folks, we have to acknowledge a little bit of the second card. So. Does that make sense? What do you think? Do you think that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, not everybody's relationship is, rainbows and Skittles,
right?
Where they're all working towards the same thing. And if you've got a situation where you're teetering on a unhealthy relationship, it means tomorrow's going to actually that wound is going to be there. But the focus is to work towards the long-term goal. So don't let the petty stuff get in your way.
Right.
Go towards the long-term stuff.
Well, and too, like that, that cognitive dissonance where you just have sometimes one half of the relationship believes that everything's great. And again, they're just in that denial, and so, Terry Lynn's just like, I'm booking my room now, vacay. No, we have good things in it. We have good stuff in there. So no worries. No worries. Long-term gains tomorrow, not vacay. It doesn't say break. There was no hermit card there was no take a break. There was no rest card. Now that's when you want to go book a room and go chill in the spa for a night, is when you get that. You need a break. If you get those cards, then yes. All right. So let's take a moment and Stacey, I want to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit too about. I know that you're really probably itching to talk about Russia.
Yeah, well, a lot of the stuff that's going on with the Russian-Ukraine, I mean, we're getting really, really thick propaganda, and it's coming from all angles. You got social media, you've got the network news, and they're all towing the same line that, all Russians are bad, even though that Vladimir Putin and the leadership is doing what they're doing. And they want to start banning around the world anything that has to do with Russia. I just saw an article about this feline show contest that is banning Russian red felines because, well, there's Russian in the name. I mean, that's stuff that was going on during the Iraq War, with the freedom fries and things of that sort. It's virtue signaling that is out of control. On all social media, they're banning everyone who has anything to do with Russia. And as I was saying before, Mina Kunis, who's like from that 70s show, and she does the voice of whatever that fat guy show is, the cartoon, Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy.
She does the voice of the daughter. And in that is, I mean, she's got to be in hiding somewhere right now because she's actually Russian. She was born in Russia. Came over when she was like 2 or 3 years old, but she speaks perfect Russian. And, so she didn't really speak it all that often because people think she's speaking Klingon.
We got, not to interrupt you, we do got Eric Vega in the chat.
Nice.
He was
Eric.
Asking for a reading. He said his question is if he will graduate this year. All right. So let's look at. I'm gonna do two things for you if we have time, Eric. So bear with me. I'm gonna clear the energy from the last session. Okay, so Taro, could you first give us some guidance on what Eric Vega does? What does he need to do? Can you give him some guidance for graduating? Let's do that first, and then we'll do like a yes no. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is the two I like. Okay. So guidance toward graduating. So we have the 10 of Wands, and that doesn't look too bad there. The 2 of Cups. I like the feeling I get. So this could be positive, buddy. So let's look at this first. I'm gonna read it to you. The 10 of Wands. Again, love to give you guys the technical terms. So the technical terms, it is time to say no and set limits. You do not have enough energy right now. Okay, so this is obligations and devotion. So keep this in mind, and we're going to go to this for clarification. So this might sound bad. Let's see what this what the 2 of Cups has to say about this. So now we have the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is saying that enjoy a mutual attraction and shared positive feelings with someone. Now that's what this means, but this is also about connection, and this is about people celebrating as well. So when I look at this and I see right here, you can see that they got the cups together, a little bit of a celebration. There's a connection, but again, a celebration. And also right here, this is sort of like your obligations, right? So this is a time for me that it says sometimes saying no because you have these obligations. When we're talking about your graduation, then this is the time when what I'm seeing is you have to prioritize your life to graduate. If you really want to graduate, you have to say no to some of these things and realize your obligation for graduating. Does that make sense? Because if you do, the clarification is you will. You will. That's what this is saying. There's like a celebration. There's that connection there. But again, you have to understand that you have to get rid of just any BS. Like you have to keep your priorities. Again, that's what you see this guy with all these like wands, the sticks. He's got this burden, the burden of graduating, right? So you have to know when to say no to things and prioritize that, okay? Because you won't be able to keep up with everything. That's what it's saying. You don't have the strength to do that. You have to, you can't do all of that. So focus on graduating and you'll get there. All right? So I hope that helps you, Eric. And I don't even think we have to do a yes, no on that. I think that was a really good, pretty much telling you.
You got to ration your energy, which means, leave the ladies alone.
Yeah. Or guys, if you're into that, I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, I like that. I think those are good. I think that's good advice. I hope that is. 4-year of university, I'm in. Thank you. Yeah. So stay focused. You're right there. And that's the thing is too, like when you're going to college, like a 4-year degree, and again, I don't know how old you are or if you're actually going to the college or if you're taking it from home or whatever, but there's a lot of distractions when you're younger. Just because when you're younger, there's just a lot more things in life you like to do. And, we get a little older, middle age, we tend to withdraw and, do only certain things that we like to do. And, you get a little more grumpy or something. Like we stop. The older we get, the less we care about people around us, or people like in general, like just public, we just get all grumpy. But when you're young, you're social and you're out there and you're doing things. And so just watch the distractions, and you'll do it. I believe in it. All right, that was good. I like that. So, Stacy, we can go back to where you left off if you'd like. I know you were wanting to maybe talk a little more as you're getting into that. I didn't want to cut you off, but I just knew that he had a ask.
Well, the whole thing with Ukraine and the conflict that's taking place, a lot of it is what we're getting and what we understand it to be taking place is all BS. The propaganda is thick, and we're not going to be told anything on who's winning and who's losing. We're only going to get one side, which is Putin's losing. Not true. There are reports that certain contracting companies that work with the United States military are going through and they're buying all of the on-market protective equipment that has to do with respirators, nuclear fallout, the iodine tablets, and they're shipping them to Europe in the next 48 hours. They're literally buying everything that's online and in the markets right now, and they're fully expecting something to take place in the next few days in Europe. The readings keep coming up that there's going to be no nuclear attack, nothing's going to happen, that sort of thing. But the powers that be, especially in Europe right now, are not convinced that that's the case. They've had, Brussels has the top leadership. They've been doing the disaster drills in old bunkers. The Cold War bunkers that they had have been restocked, and they're doing these drills where the leadership literally at a moment's notice are being whisked away to go to these locations. It's happening in Switzerland. It's happening in Brussels. I don't know how the rest of the Europe is doing, but everybody's walking on eggshells right now because they fully expect something to pop off and be a full-on conflict. And the governments want to save themselves, of course. They're not going to let us know what's going on until it's too late, So
Yeah.
the idea is if I'm not trying to scare anybody here, but when things go south, and I can tell you just in hurricane season, this is the way. When it's known that this is, fate, that a hurricane is going to hit New Orleans, that's when everybody suddenly decides to go shopping. You don't do that. Get what you need now when it's cheaper, because inflation is going to be nuts. Price gouging will take place.
It's been creeping up.
It's been creeping up, and computers go down. I mean, we've had cyber attacks going on. You don't even know whether you're going to you can use the money that you have in the bank. So whatever you've got, as far as like being able to store some stuff, can stuff, whatever, doesn't need refrigeration, do it. Really.
Which really reminds me too is like, I want to remind you folks out there, I want to take a moment to let you know that one is, Stacy right here on our show, he has courses that you can take on Udemy, and there is a link in the description. So go there. He's got coupon codes all the time, discounts, or it's worth it. I mean, just even if you had to pay full price for the course, it's worth it. He's got all kinds of courses with remote viewing, even survival stuff, like prep type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely need to go check it out. But since he was talking about that, I wanted to give him a plug on that for sure. Oh, and also, real quick too, paranormalunderground.net. As you can see right there, we're sponsored every Thursday. I mean, you guys normally see that up there on all my stuff. Technically, I just do that because I like them so much. If you guys don't have the magazine, it's awesome. But I kind of do it. The deal is kind of really just for like every Thursday, but I just put it on all my live videos because it's fun. I really like this magazine. If you don't have it, I'm telling you, paranormalunderground.net, and then you're gonna tell them you can even set that Josh sent you, and you're gonna get a free year free. All right, and it's going to come into your email. In fact, it might even just stay free for a lot of people. They told me like, well, I don't get charged. There you go. So check it out, guys. It's a great magazine. So just wanted to put that out there. For I don't think I talked about them last Thursday. I apologize. So I wanted to make sure, even though I have it up there all the time, I do like to at least tell you guys because I really do believe in them. Cheryl and them over there do a great job. And Bob Fountain, who also is a writer for them, he's normally in our chat. Bob, we are wishing you a recovery. I was able to talk with him recently. He's been I don't want to go into his medical stuff, but he has been having some medical stuff, and his computer is in his little shop area, like his little man cave. So he hasn't really been able to leave the main house to go out and hang out in the chat in his man cave. So if that makes sense for some of you that understand that. So he emailed me from where he was and was able to say, hey, I haven't left yet. He's still around. So just wish him well, send him prayers or send him love. We just hope for Bob and a speedy recovery.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, to continue on, if the scenarios play out the way that Europe seems to think it's going to play out, it doesn't have to be a full-on nuclear exchange like you see in the movies where they're like coming this way over the globe, they're going this way over the globe, and they're like meeting in the middle and they're just like bombing everything. That's typically not what would take place. That was an old, 1970s scenario when all we had was ICBMs to deliver the stuff. That's not the way it is anymore. They've advanced nuclear weapons to where they're really small. They can literally come across in a suitcase where you don't even know how they got there and they just pop. They can come across in a car, and they're 50 times the size of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and in a suitcase. These are the stuff that we know about. They got the new hypersonic missiles or cruise missiles that literally go 50 feet above sea level at 4 times the speed of sound. And they can completely avoid radar and, hit whatever they want anywhere on the globe because they're essentially drones at hypersonic speed. If Russia, for whatever reason, decided to use a tactical nuke in the upper atmosphere, 200 miles above, let's say, Kansas, it would knock out all 3 grids in the United States for 2 to 5 years, simply because it would fry every transformer along the poles, including the big ones, the size of 4-story buildings, destroy those, which it takes anywhere from 6 to 9 months to make those by hand, and they're made in Germany, for those to be replaced. And I know that sounds bad, 2 to 5 years without electricity, but the Pentagon did a study. They've done actually several studies, but the latest study they did determined that if the grid goes down, totally goes down, no electricity, within the first 100 days, 9 out of 10 people will be dead from starvation, lack of services, whether it be the hospital, any number of different things that we use electricity for, including putting fuel in our cars for transportation. Back in the olden days, they had horses and buggies. Nobody has a horse and buggy anymore except the Amish.
Right.
How are you going to move around? You're going to be stuck wherever you're at, walking or getting on a bicycle. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And,
we got Melissa popped in the chat. Of course, Terry Lynn's back. Beyond the Veil. Hey, Melissa Card. How you doing? She said, "Can I get a free reading?" Absolutely. If you, the biggest thing is like, hey, if you can't donate anything or tip us, that's fine. If we give you a reading, just hey, like, share, subscribe. That's all we really ask. So, all right. So Melissa, and we will get to that. We did talk about that in the beginning, Terry Lynn.
Yes, that is true.
But we will talk about that here in a little bit. Melissa, so you wanted a reading. What kind of topic would you like us to what would you like me to read for? Would you like relationship guidance, employment, finances? What aspect of your life are you looking to, or is there something even more specific? I'll give you a second to respond.
Relationship.
Okay. All right. And you just want some guidance about your current relationship? Okay. Clear this energy here. There we go. What's up, guys? Greetings from New York City. Good to see fellow male readers. I've been reading cards for over 3 years. Awesome, Galatians. I love that. I have not been reading all that long, but I have good intuition, and I've been involved in paranormal for a long, long time. So I've been using that. Yes. So Melissa wants to know if they're going to get back together. Would you like to use a first name, just to be a little specific, Melissa? Or do you want to just leave it general? I can leave it open. Is he coming back? All right. Ken. All right. Tarot, could you please give Melissa some guidance on whether or her relationship with Ken going forward, if he's possibly coming back, if they're going to get back together? Could you give us some guidance on this? All right. Thank you. I'm going to cut the deck. Right here. Okay, and I'm already drawn to these two right here. Okay. Okay. So we've got the 7 of Pentacles, and we have the 4 of Wands. Now, again, I'm going to read to you the technical stuff. I know Galatians is all like, hey, I know all this stuff exactly. We've been reading it for a long time, but I like to just read everything technically to everybody. But this is also talking about your success, your long-term planning, and dedicated persistence. So that's key when we talk about relationships, is persistence. And then, of course, the 4 of Wands is your clarifier. And so let's see what that has to say. Your 4 of Wands is going to talk about your socializing, gather friends and family around you and celebrate together. So this is kind of friends coming together, celebrations. So the clarification on this, what I'm feeling, Melissa, to be honest with you, when I look at this, is that I think that with some persistence and maybe even help of family, I don't know if you guys have friends, family together, possibly a get-together, a social function, but with a little bit of persistence from you and perhaps a social gathering, could be that moment that you guys could end up back together again. So I hope that helps. I don't know if you have any potential gatherings together. It could be something maybe random. You might go to a wedding. Who knows? You might go to some event, and lo and behold, Ken's there. So you just never know. But there is that persistence. Okay. Hey, Beyond, I always cruise the lives, checking out how people read and interpret. Yeah, and I love just sort of again, I clear the energy and deal the cards, ask tarot, and then I like to read because, again, I'm not one that memorizes everything, but I like to read just for people. And then, of course, I have my intuition. I look at the pictures, I read the cards, and then I go by my intuition. I go by really what the story of the card is telling me. And of course, I know that's probably similar on how you do it. But that's how I do it, and it seems to work pretty good. I've got a lot of people, a lot of good feedback since we've been doing it, and since I've been doing it. So, been pretty happy. I enjoy it. So yeah, it's interesting too. You talk about male readers, and Stacy here, he does the Pio Mayombe. I said that right this time.
Yeah, pretty close. Halomeombe.
I'm always right there, but
Yeah.
Stacy's into divination. He's just not as like public or in that sense. Whereas like I'm catering to people in that sense. But
Yeah, I'm prohibited from doing free readings. I'm actually prohibited for doing any spiritual work for free. It's part of my. When I got initiated, it was the thing that the restriction they put upon me, because given my own druthers, I would be giving shit away for free all the time. And the spirits have specifically said that no, we go to work for you. You got to get something out of this, because we don't do it for free either. So you need to get something out of it. And that's essentially why I'm not doing readings, is because I can't do those things for free. I'm religiously prohibited from doing those things. So that being said, I can still give advice to, say Melissa in her relationship issue. If she's looking to bring him back or make the relationship a little bit sweeter than what it is, there's a thing that she can do. If she writes her name on a piece of paper, piece of little white paper, like a Post-it note size thing, writes his name on a Post-it note, puts a dab of honey on over his name, and then put your name facing his like a sandwich, light a candle, and talk to your ancestors, asking them to bring him back into your life. And it's a little love spell that, works wonders. You don't have to do a whole lot. You don't have to kill a chicken or anything weird like that. You just, make a little honey sandwich with your names, and he'll start thinking about you more often.
See, and that's why I like having you on the show, Stacy, because see, not only can people get guidance when they get readings, but then you can also look at, hey, here's how you cast some spells. So Galatians says, something tragic happened in my life, turned my life upside down, and my eyes open. I see things totally different now. And I've heard that a lot from people. What I've noticed too is either people will gain abilities through trauma, whether it's accidents, sometimes abuse, sexual or emotional, and some just gather or certain intuitions over time. Like me, I'm not a psychic, but I have an intuition about me, like that I've just had and developed over the years. My wife, she's very sensitive to certain things. She does have some clairvoyant moments, but mostly she's very sensitive to like certain paranormal events and things like that. So like when we go to locations, like haunted locations, her senses are more keen, and we use her senses to really kind of hone in on some things where like, I'll sense some things when we go to properties and things like my intuition will serve me well there, but really dialing it in, that's when we go to Terry Lynn's senses and things like that. So, and I think Terry Lynn, I don't want to speak for her, but she got hers a different way, I think, than what I did. So like with intuition goes, but sensitive is the perfect word to describe intuition. Yeah, I mean, being a sensitive, and again, I could say I'm a sensitive or something, but I just talk about mostly because I know that that's mostly what I'm using is intuition. Whereas I know with her, she does seem to have sensitivities where when she walks into a place, she's like, oh, I mean, it like almost really impacts her. Where with me, it's more of just a feeling, just that gut feeling of like, oh, something's not right here. But with her, it's like, oh, Like it's like a sensitivity. So that's how I look at it. But yeah, absolutely. And I think too, people sometimes they put themselves in a box and they're like, I'm not a psychic, I'm a medium, or I'm not a, clairvoyant, you know. Hey, you can have multiple abilities across the spectrum. It doesn't, you can have some precog abilities,
Mm-hmm.
or you may have just present time. You may, there's everybody's got their own little, and you could have both. You could have a spirit guide who's also there. Maybe you're a medium, maybe you're a psychic. Who knows? Maybe a little bit of both. But he's also Galatians also says the life we live is nothing of what we're taught. We have unlimited power that God has given us. This knowledge has been hidden from us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would say I have unlimited power. I think God has unlimited power in that sense. I personally wouldn't say that. I just say we all have abilities, and I love that. And I'm glad you came on here for sure. And I'm glad you're interacting. We're very chat driven in this show, if you can't tell. So, I would like to do. I wish we had some dowsing rod sessions. We had a lot of people wanting dowsing rods, and lately we've been getting a lot of tarot readings, which is fine. I like doing both. But I wonder if let's see. Yeah, I want to do some dowsing rods, Stacy.
Go ahead. I'm not stopping you.
I know, but I'm trying to think. Like, I'm really trying to think of what if there's anything I really wanted to know right now or wanted to talk to the spirits about.
Well, we could go back and visit Yes No with Melissa. See if the honey spell, the love spell, would actually work on Ken.
Right. So,
I mean, not all spells work, but you can find out whether it would or not.
okay. I'm trying to get my hands up in here. Okay. All right. If there's a spirit here that would like to come forward and answer some questions for us, a positive spirit, could you please step forward and cross the rods for yes, please? Okay, thank you for that. Could you please straighten the rods out, please? Straighten the rods, please. There you go. Straighten them out. No, sometimes they just don't always get they don't get straightening them out. All right. So the question, let's see, turn out to see your question, but she didn't say. So Galatians says, I have a question. Is V's family stopping our connection? So I'm not sure what that means. I'll just ask. So this is a question. Okay, sorry, I adjust my arm. All right, so this is a question from Galatians 6:7 in the chat, who wants to know, is V's family stopping our communication? That's his question. Could you please answer that? Whether it's a yes, if it's a yes, please cross the rods. If it's no, you can leave them apart or push them apart. Is V's family stopping our connection?
Might need to use the full name. We got a lot of synonyms going on here.
Right. Yeah, if you want to be a little more specific, Galatians, any kind of names, first names, if you want. It doesn't have to always be last names, but it does help to be more specific. We can usually narrow it down. But right now, I'm not even really feeling a yes or a no. I don't, a lot of times there might be a no, but I'm not even feeling that right now. Waiting to see if I was giving Galatians a moment to put any names in there, possibly. Okay, ask this question. Is Valentina the girl I'm going to marry? Okay. So Galatians 6:7 in the chat would like to know, is Valentina the girl that that they're going to marry? Is that the girl they're going to marry? Can you please cross the rods for yes? Push apart for no. Is the spirit still here? Can you please cross the rods for let us know that you're still here? Okay. So you did okay. Straighten the rods, please. Straighten the rods. Straighten the rods, please. There you go. Okay, so again, I'm going to ask for Galatians 6:7, is Valentina the girl I'm going to, or that he's going to marry? Could you please cross the rods for yes? So he says the spirits won't answer because he already knows. Well, I mean, is it a no? Is it a no, spirits? Could you please push apart the rods for a hard no? Okay. So I'm not really getting anything on that. So yeah, I mean, I'm not getting anything on that. And then AV Morgan says, "Can I get a reading, please?" Sure. I'm gonna stop this communication session. I'm gonna clear the rods. So AV Morgan, if as I smack the microphone, why does Ben, my love interest, keep switching on me? What am I doing wrong? Okay. All right. So let's get some advice from Tarot here.
Keep switching.
Right.
I don't know what that means.
Well, if you want to clarify, Avi, you can, what you mean by your love interest. So does that mean like he loves you 1 minute or seems kind of interested, but then he's not? Is that what you mean by switching? He's kind of interested sometimes, not interested.
Oh, keeps going with someone else, flirting with someone else.
Okay. Do you have a first name maybe that you want to share? If you do, I can get some more specific information from Tarot. Okay, AV Morgan. Tarot. Oh yeah, Ben. I see you. I even read Ben. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. So Ben, okay. His name is Ben. I got it. Thank you. Sorry, that was my fault. I even read it and then I asked you, like, do you got a name? You got a name for him? Yeah. I even read it in the thing that said Ben. Okay. So let's find out what the relationship status is. So Tarot, could you please give AV Morgan? Could you please give AV Morgan some guidance on her relationship status with Ben? You know, what's the relationship between her and Ben, and maybe the future? Okay. So I know he does not trust me, but he really can. Right here. Go. All right. So the first one is going to be Queen of Swords, and then you're going to also have the Three of Cups. So I'm going to tell you the official meaning of this, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. So the Queen of Swords is that the situation or relationship calls for detached and logical thinking. You got to be strategic. Okay. Three of Cups is the clarifier. So let's clarify this. All right, let's see exactly what tarot is trying to aim you in when it comes to being tactical. So the Three of Cups really is sort of gather your closest friends and celebrate something, anything. So celebration or sharing. So it sounds to me like, and this is just me, but what tarot is telling you, my interpretation of this is when I'm seeing your main card about being strategic. Okay, let me pop that up there. We can see it there. Anyways, so your main card is overall when it comes to relationship stuff is sort of being strategic, and then your clarifier is gathering some friends, putting on like a little event. So it tells me like you need to maybe try to either get your friends involved, maybe some kind of party, something that's a social event, and you're going to want to be strategic about this. So it's going to be a little close, but that's how you're really going to get to them is a little bit of social with some friends, social event, and being strategic about it. Okay. So I hope that helps. And I can do one more thing for you real quick, Avi. And Galatians, thank you for the chat. I appreciate you coming in anytime. I'm really glad you did pop in. But Avi, one more thing before you go. I want to shuffle these up real quick. And I want to give you a yes, no. Okay? I do want to give you a yes, no. But I think there's some strategy involved with Ben and involving your friends. So for what that's worth. All right. And we can find out. So let's go to this. Okay, we're still keeping the order. Hold on. Okay. So I don't really have friends, please. Okay. Well, that's okay. We'll clarify that up a little more. And I think again, it's being strategic, and it possibly could be at a gathering. Okay. So I know maybe you're not like one that gets out of the house much. Maybe you don't do a lot of social things, but that may be the way that, maybe he wants more social from you. Okay. So I'm going to ask Tarot. Tarot, is Avi meant to be with Ben? Are they meant to be together? All right. There's a yes, and there's a yes, and there's a yes. So I am getting 3 yeses. So Tarot is saying it is possible that you guys are meant, or that you guys are meant to be together. So it might take some time, but I am getting that yes, no question. Okay. And I will ask one more thing for you since we have a little time. And Taryn says, I've got some things to say for that cheating one. Well, he's not really cheating. They're not really in a relationship, but obviously he's kind of rubber banding in and out, like, might seem interested, and then he's dating other people, then he's kind of coming back around. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, so I want to ask one more thing. He leaves me for other girls. Oh, we always fight and come back. Well, I'm going to do one more thing for you, Avi. We'll try one more thing. We'll see what Tarot has to say on this. Tarot, could you please give Avi Morgan some advice on her relationship? What should she do? What should she do for her relationship with Ben? What should she do? All right, here we go. Here. All right. So we have the Knight of Pentacles and we have the Page of Pentacles. All right. So the Knight of Pentacles is really going to be about, of course, forward progress. We're going to talk about that. So, and then we have the Page of Pentacles, which is important as well. This is experiment and try not to get lost in starting but not finishing anything. So this is practicing some things, being that apprenticeship. And I know it sounds maybe a little confusing, but trust me when I say we'll clarify that up for you a little bit. And of course, the Knight is goal-driven and reliable. It's really about making decisive action that leads to results. So this here is really telling you that that you want to be decisive. In other words, Avi, I know it's frustrating that this guy's going in and out, and who knows? Just because the cards say you're meant to be together, it doesn't mean in this life. Okay, you're meant to be together in the next life. But in this life, right now, if he's leaving you for other women, that's pretty rude. So these cards are saying take some decisive action, and you can be inventive about this. Okay, you can be inventive about it. And again, this may be decisive action. Maybe you just need to cut the cord and go out and do something and reinvent yourself. So that's something you may want to look at is get away from this situation, go reinvent yourself and find another relationship. And then maybe you and Ben will be together in the next life. Or maybe he hasn't learned his lesson in this life. So he left and tried to back and act like he was sorry. Yeah, and this is just a common, typical, to me as a male, and Stacy and even like Terry Lynn, my wife, she recognizes that pattern as well. But it's a pattern of an abusive male in the sense that even if he's not physically abusing you, he's taking advantage of you in that sense that he's just leaving you. He's finding other women while in a relationship with you. It looks like that's pretty horrible. And that's very disrespectful to you as an individual. I mean, and then fighting and coming back, and like, even if it's not physical, again, it's arguing, coming back, saying you're sorry. Same pattern.
Yeah, I will say to stay on topic, but be a little off topic too. In Latin cultures, men who are dating women and the woman comes to give dinner, she's making a meal, anything that has a red sauce to it, the men usually get really, really scared and try and get out of there as quickly as possible. Because in Latin cultures, there's an actual love spell, so to speak, of women taking their feminine blood and putting it in the cooking sauce, in the red tomato sauce, and then feeding it to the men, thus making them essentially their slave after that. They become enamored and basically keyed in to that particular woman. And men know that this is the thing that women will do in order to hook themselves a man in Latin America. So they refuse to eat these meals with the spaghetti or the lasagna or whatever it is that has this red tomato sauce in it. And I'm not suggesting that you follow suit, but if you did, you probably would not have the problem of him wandering off. So,
Yeah. And like I said, in all honesty, I'm telling you, Avi, I mean, regardless of any other advice you may get from any other tarot readings or anything like that, I'm just telling you right now that given that your pattern right now and like what's being said, like I said, Terry Lynn, this is like all my wife, this is like all of her exes. Like, she's gone through so much emotional and physical abuse, relationships, all that stuff. This is just a toxic relationship, in my opinion. It really is. I mean, but it's up to you ultimately. I mean, I'm not trying to force. I always feel bad if I'm like, but at the same time, given what you're saying. And then when you said that he thinks that you're flirting around, if you're not flirting around, be secure in that. You know, a lot of times the abuser is going to project back onto the person. So they're going to say, "Oh, you're flirting around," when in fact he's the one flirting around. You know what I mean? He's going to accuse you of those things because of his own insecurities. So that's just me. So again, I wish you best of luck, though, Avi, and I hope that whatever happens, says it only looks so because I have some struggles. Well, but see, no matter what your struggles are, look, my wife comes with a huge emotional baggage cart, but that's okay. I don't use that as a crutch. I don't say, oh, because my wife had all these struggles in her life and has all these problems that, it's an excuse to go do bad things or excuse to fight. These are things that you have to, if you really love somebody, then you're going to help them with those struggles. And when my wife has her struggles, like I'm not talking about like our normal little fighting, like chit chat fighting, whatever. But when she really has her struggles, then, I'm there for her. And this guy here, Ben, he should be there for you when you're having your struggles, no matter how hard it is. And if he's not the kind of person and he's going to run off with other women, that's not good. I mean, you don't even need a tarot reading for that. Like, that's just not good. Period. You're going to need to find somebody that has patience. If you have struggles, you'll have to find somebody that can weather the storms and that has patience. All right. So, but yeah, Carolyn says, I don't flirt. I'm just cute. Yeah, I know, honey. You are. But again, and I think everything I said is true, So it's more of an advice than anything. So, all right.
She's like, can I ask one more?
Sure, why not? Eventually, you're gonna have to start tipping. My wife, that she said earlier, because remember you said you were forbidden, Stacy. And so my wife, he said she's gonna start doing that to me. She's like, she's gonna start making me do no more free tarot stuff. All right, but yeah, Avi, if you want to get your question out there, just throw out. Make sure it has some specifics. Will he ever change so we can get better? We can ask. All right.
That's a yes or no.
Okay. All right. Tarot, we're going to ask you, Avi Morgan, she would like to know about Ben, the off and on relationship she's having with him. Will he change his ways? Will he straighten up and act better for her? All right. There we go. Okay. And I'm really getting the intuition that tarot is telling me just to deal these cards right here. So we're going to go a yes, a no, and a yes. So let me clarify this for you. Okay. You have 2 yeses and 1 no. So this is not a full yes. This means that there's a good possibility he will change his ways, but there is a no possibility. And to explore that, we have to look at the Page of Wands. Okay. Just to find out what is that no, what does that mean? So with the Page of Wands, give me 1 second here. The Page of Wands is sort of enthusiasm and creativity. I know that sounds weird, but there may be some enthusiasm on the no of when it comes to whether or not he's going to change his ways. So if there's some creativity involved, remember I was talking earlier, remember when I pulled the card that was talking about being creative? Remember the card I was talking about being creative in trying to get the relationship back, and there was like a social aspect to it, or some friends involved possibly, but that social possible thing. This is also talking about creativity. So again, there may be some creative things, and I know you're probably wanting a real black and white answer to your problems, but it's not always that simple. Right now, Tarot is saying yes, he could change his ways, but in all honesty, it doesn't look like there is still that no. There's still a possibility. So I think that's pretty generic in a sense, because I think that anybody has the potential of changing their ways, but I don't know.
He may commit, but he's still going to have a side piece, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just don't have that good feeling for you. I really don't. I don't have a good feeling for you in that relationship. My intuition is just telling me it's just not a good situation that you really want to invest more of your future in. That's just me. Again, I know it's hard to hear, but that's all I'm really getting from the cards, basically, and from what you're saying. Terry Lynn says, "Mama pimpin' soon. You cannot change a man. They have to truly care for you, but you need to care about yourself and realize by the time he does, will he deserve you? That's the question." So yeah, and Terry Lynn brings up a point is, I mean, you got to care about yourself. Respect, care about yourself, have respect, because right now he's not respecting you. When he's leaving you with the struggles and he's going out for these women, he's not respecting you. So Terry Lynn's like, hey, you need to respect yourself. And once you respect yourself and you really, stand on your 2 feet and you're like, hey, I'm worth it. Then she's saying, now, does he even deserve you? so it's a good point. Okay. It's a good point. And I'm glad Terry Lynn could give you that perspective. Okay. Nikolai Marinov.
It looks like a bot.
Right? I know. I think we had another one that popped in earlier, didn't we? It was like something like that. Yeah, that Richard Downs VR and Rent or something, VR Life. Thanks so much. That's no problem, Avery. I wish you luck. I really do. And if you like what we do, come back here, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Always more than happy to give you a reading or dowsing rods, whatever you need. So we're here for you.
Terry Lynn. Is Christian asking the question, or are you, Terry Lynn? That's what I thought.
Okay. So Mama wants to know something. Okay. All right. We'll find out. We're gonna ask. This is about my son. He's got a friend that's a girl. Okay. Let me clear this energy off from that last time. I just want to double check, make sure I did. Okay. Tarot, does Kaylee want to be Christian's girlfriend? Let's just ask him yes or no. Okay. All right. And we're going to deal straight off the top. I like that. Tarot's telling me that's a good way to do this. Okay. We have 2 yeses and a no. So we have yeses. So there's always that possibility of a no. I do want to look at something here. Look at the Knight. So the Knight talks about brash decision making and fanaticism. This is I'm actually reading this reversed because this is technically reversed because it's a no. Mm-hmm. So the only way to me is if I would say, like, if Christian is brash or fanatic about it, for some reason. If he goes to ask her out, but he's like real brash about it, that could be the no. But other than that, she's, it's a yes. She's like, flip him, damn it. So, but yeah, I think that's the only no, is if he's brash, which I don't know. Our son could be. I think if he phrases it wrong. Sometimes girls don't like certain things when you just come right out. Not telling them. That's funny. I was wondering if you'd want to know. Oh, goodness. Man, I can't believe the show's been an hour and 50 minutes. Time kind of goes pretty wild in here.
Yeah.
All right.
Takes a long time to shuffle cards.
Huh?
It takes a long time to shuffle cards.
Yeah, I know. I get bad about it. I just really try to give people a good reading, like shuffling them and getting that energy in there. But yeah, I wonder. I would like to know. I want to know something. This can be political or not, but I would like to know how this trucker convoy is going to go here in the United States. It's actually passing. It's actually passing through here. I think they said either Friday or Saturday morning or something like that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the 5th, I guess. It's going to be in DC. They're doing DuPont or Beltway Circle, clogging traffic for whatever, honking horns. Now that the mask mandate's gone and the other mandates are gone, I don't know what they're protesting anymore.
All right. So, Tarot, you already know the question. I was already focusing on it while Stacy was talking. So, how's the trucker convoy going to go? All right. So, we have the hangman right here. And we have the King of Swords. So, this right here, I can tell you it's about seeing another perspective. So, that's what's pretty cool about that. So let's go. We'll start with that, though. I just want to make sure you guys know. So it represents like sacrifice, when like short-term difficulty, like sacrifice, or that we must accept a short-term difficulty for a long-term gain. Which is really cool, because if you think about it, this is exactly what the convoy is a short-term difficulty for a bigger picture, right? A long-term gain. So that's really cool. And then let's see, the King of Swords is the Clarifier before we get our hopes up. But this is the Clarifier. And that, if I can do this right, is going to be the final decision maker. Like the judge, right? You're the king on the throne. You oversee the decision. You do not need input from others. You make your own choice and inform everyone else of you decided. So what I like about this is it's a very decisive card, that final judgment. But not only that, but that king, like sort of like the truckers do in the convoy. Again, that self-sacrifice for a long-term gain, so to speak. But at the same time, they're just very final. They're very decisive about it. Like they're committed to this. They're committed. They're not worried about what other people say. They're doing it. That's what the cards are saying right here. They're going to do it. And then from this, maybe the card is also saying that we may get some kind of change in law. We may get a result that could be something good. It doesn't say good or bad, but could be good. I like it. It seems positive. So there you go. I just thought that'd be interesting to see how that went. So it's pretty neat.
Well, I have no doubt the media is going to ignore it for the first week or two if it goes on that long. And then only when Biden decides to use wartime powers will news media suddenly talk about it.
Right. Taylor said, "Gonna have to get you a Vegas shoveler." I like to have that personal connection, right? That's what it's all about, you know.
Bouncy castles are a sign of insurrection. So, you know, truckers, just leave your bouncy castles at home.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Do we want to know anything? Stacy, you want to know anything? I always like to ask you in case you have any things you're wondering about.
You know, we could is are we going to have a limited nuclear exchange? I mean, I think we've asked that every day for I think the last 3.
Okay. If there's any spirits that could answer some questions about the country of Russia, the Russia Federation, and the Ukraine, things like that, if you could come forward and let us know that you're here, please cross the rods. If you're here, if you can answer any questions for us, please cross the rods. Let us know you're here, please. Okay, thank you for that. And if you please straighten the rods, please. All right, thank you for that. All right, straighten them out. Thank you. All right. Now, we would like to know is now you're talking to Stacy between us and Russia.
The world essentially is because Europe is stressed out about it. The U.S. is stressed out about it. Even Asia is stressed out about it. If we have a nuclear exchange limited or whatever,
Will we have a limited nuclear exchange with the Russia Federation? Can you please cross the rods for yes, leave apart for no, or you can push them apart for no.
yeah. So this is confirming again and again and again. Nothing has changed.
Okay, so straighten the rods. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. And man, I'm trying to get my full view in here. Sorry, guys. I just moved my arms. I was trying to get my full view so you guys can see, but okay. Are we gonna? Is the U.S. gonna kind of get it into any hot conflict with Russia soon? Could you please cross the rods, please? Let us know yes or no. No, so I think we're probably gonna just stick to sanctions and whatnot. Are we gonna be sticking to just is the U.S. gonna be sticking to sanctions? It's already trying to cross. It's already trying to answer from what I was talking. All right, so I guess we're gonna be sticking to sanctions. All right, can you please straighten the rods, please. Straighten the rods. All right, thank you for that. All right, Terry Lynn said, "Woo, thank God." Okay. Stacy, you're the expert on the Russia Ukraine. Is there any other questions you wanted to know on this?
Yeah, is China at the center of the aggression? Is China orchestrating it in the shadows?
Yeah, is China orchestrating this Russia Ukraine conflict? Is China orchestrating this from the shadows? You please cross the rods for yes, straighten the rods for no, or you leave them apart for no, or you can push them apart. Okay. Does China have any influence with Putin over this conflict? Okay, so there is. I guess they are being kind of influential. I guess, Stacy, that's what they're saying. So straighten the rods, please. Straighten the rods. Thank you for that.
Yeah, the camera footage is real. It's been confirmed.
Well, and that's going to be hard to say. Terry Lynn is the camera footage. Well, my rod's crossed, but I don't. But it says
Yeah.
is the camera footage there shown online real or fake? It's going to be hard to say for sure because the daily live feeds
Oh,
are the daily live feeds that they're showing, are those real or fake? Can you please cross the rods for real? Leave a part for okay. So apparently the daily live feeds are apparently real, which a lot of times they don't really show any action. So
yeah.
um, we see a lot of fake action videos, unfortunately, things that were there. So, but yeah, I'm going to end this session real quick on that. Did you need me to ask anything else, or I mean, I'll
No,
ask some more if you need to. I just
no. It basically that's essentially what my instincts have been telling me anyway. It's just you don't really know for sure, and a lot of people are getting really their panties in a bunch, and it's not stupid to prepare for a nuclear attack. You want to be prepared in the event of a nuclear attack,
right,
uh, but they're doing it on such a large scale that it has this ripple effect where it's freaking everyone out that even knows that that's what they're doing, because they're being all secretive, and they know something that the rest of us don't, and they're doing weird things, and it that kind of stuff ripples throughout the internet and causes undue panic. And I don't, my instincts tell me that nothing's going to take place, but you still watch everybody freaking out, and you're like, it's like a stampede. You don't want to be standing while the stampede is running. You want to run with the stampede.
right,
You know, it's hard not to do that. You want to get out of the stampede.
right. Then you can look back and go, man, there's so many other options.
Yeah. And then you see the stampede run over the cliff, It's,
Right. And you just sit back and watch. But yeah, I it's tough because but I have to like I said, anytime we've been sprinkling in the Russia Ukraine stuff in our divinations sessions, it's for the most part been fairly consistent. It's talking about Russia's takeover of Ukraine, but it's talking about it doing it in kind of a softer way, which we haven't really seen any like die hard, stuff.
Yeah, it hasn't been
Really
shock
not.
and awe. It hasn't been like what we did in Iraq. It's been very gentle in comparison.
And so yes, like maybe they're shooting into this nuclear reactor like admin office, but they're not. They could bomb it if they really wanted to. There's a lot of there's other things they could do besides just shooting into the admin office. So it just makes you wonder, you know. And
Yeah.
again, that goes toward that whole soft deal. Ooh, excuse me, guys. Sometimes those yawns come out there.
Even if they bombed the reactors, those reactors are around the uranium. They're 14 feet thick concrete. They could literally take a hit from a nuclear bomb, and they'd crack, but they wouldn't crumble and start another, you know, meltdown because of it.
Another Chernobyl.
Yeah, it
Right.
takes a lot for them to a full on meltdown will do it, but a nuclear weapon, bullets, rockets, things of that sort, even if they hit the reactor, it wouldn't do anything. It's the office buildings that have people in them that that's your collateral damage.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I think it's stupid for them to even mess with that, um, in my opinion. So
Yeah,
it's like, what is your line of thought? If you're successful, you're going to ruin a bunch of the countryside there that you wanted to take. I mean,
yeah.
you know,
What they're probably trying to do is get the reactor to shut down because they want to control the power, they want to control the communications. That's essentially what the goal probably is. You know, because to date they haven't shut down the power, they haven't shut down communications. We're still getting live streaming internet from Ukraine, and they're being invaded by Russia. I mean, China wouldn't do that. They'd shut off all the power first and then invade. So people were like, you know, running around not knowing what's going on.
I've thought of that too. I was like, I remember watching, going, why do I keep seeing? Like, I kept thinking, like, how come? Because I know they were talking about, like, they were supposedly doing these different cyber attacks and things like right at the beginning. And I was thinking to myself, well, they must suck at it then, because like we're still getting internet. We're over there. Tons of people are still using internet, and the live feeds, the electricity's been on. I mean, there's still things that are operating there. So it's like, if you're truly trying to take over, why aren't you putting a chokehold on it first? You know, and like the electric and the internet and things like that are blinding the world. See, I mean, if the world was blind, you wouldn't really even see a lot of what they're doing. They could go in and do what they had to do, probably. But
Yeah.
we're like watching this, like, and it's not even. I don't know, man. It's just not right. It's just weird. Like, we've seen enough conflict in our modern time between the desert, a couple times, between Afghanistan. You know, we've seen combat. We've seen it on videos, on TV. We've seen like real life stuff. And this just doesn't have that normal flow, that it just feels weird.
Yeah. I mean, in Louisiana, we get a good gust of wind and the power goes out, you know, and they've got bombing and shelling and tanks rolling through. And, you know, tanks, when they roll through, they just, you know, go down the roads. They take out critical infrastructure as they're going down. They mow it down, you know, and none of that is happening. It's either Russia is trying to do a strictly, you know, hardcore political move, or he's not really going, you know, right to the balls to the walls with overthrowing this country.
Right.
It's weird. And what we're getting in the media as far as propaganda is concerned makes it sound like, you know, he's Saddam Hussein or Hitler or you know, another great Satan, that kind of thing. And
Well,
he's an a-hole, but
so let's look at this. So clearly, war brings ratings. So CNN, for example, who's a horrible network.
yeah,
Sorry if that offends you people. And I just mean you people, as in whoever likes CNN. But their ratings have gotten all the way down to like
10%.
It was like 400,000. They were still under a million people total with all their shows, well under 100, or it was like 800 some thousand, way down, way down. Then this is after, right? This is after the whole Trump bump and all that stuff. Trump was like their big ticket. Their ratings were still up, but at the same time they were slowly dwindling over that time, because eventually you can only milk that so long, and you can only bash somebody and lie about somebody so long, and people started turning off. And next thing you know, they lost so many viewers, and the Trump thing was over. There was nothing else. We're like, well, now what? What do we do? We had all this time. We were doing all these things. Well, then guess what? Now the Russia-Ukrainian war. And their viewership, when the numbers came in, they actually had just came in under Fox this time. And again, I'm not being biased. I'm just talking about ratings. So people don't put me in a box. But they had actually came in under Fox, just under, and they were like almost 2 million. So yeah, you know, like they were all like, oh my God, we got viewers again and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And so for them, war is good. And that's why you see them sensationalizing every little thing about this war, because it's business, folks. It's money. It's when they have, and if you don't believe me, look up the article about the Applebee's ad, right? Look that up. they were showing war and then popped in an Applebee's ad. It wasn't a mistake, folks. It was not a mistake. You know, they might go back, oh, it was a mistake. No, it wasn't a mistake. They have control room. They know when to play ads. They have producers, all that stuff.
Well,
Folks,
Applebee's got kind of pissed off because they're actively showing a live stream of live people getting blown up, and they minimize the window like what we're seeing here for you and me. They minimize the live feed, and in the big window that you see here, they got a big Applebee's commercial where they're jiggling their butts and they're all happy that they're at Applebee's, and people just like that was so bold faced, awful that Applebee's got some blowback for that.
yeah, and
funny.
Well, and I don't even so much blame Applebee's. I mean, they bought commercial spots, and it's not like there's probably somebody from Applebee's on the phone going, "Now, play it now." I mean, I doubt it. That was just CNN going, "Well, we have obligations, and we got all these viewers. Here we go," and they get kickback from that stuff. So, because it's all stats, so they know, like, if they say, "Hey, we played your thing to X amount of viewers at this time," to make the reports better for when they do talk to Applebee's for the next contract. So in this case, they were just trying to pad the numbers, right? So they can say, "Hey, we played your commercial to X amount of people," versus if they said,
a lot of times commercials, when they make these advertising deals, they have an in-kind theme with the commercial where they say you do not air this ad if this is what's playing. I mean, if you're actively watching somebody murder little puppies, you don't want to have a commercial that's all happy and the AT&T come with us, because
smart
associating yeah you don't want somebody drinking puppy blood against somebody who's doing AT&T commercial. So they have in-kind broadcasting, and CNN, they screwed the pooch on that. They're not supposed to do that, and that's what made it really funny.
Right. Well, and like I said, that's the thing is, like, regardless, the point is that CNN it's all about money, money. War brings money. Anytime you have war, it brings money to anything. When we went through like the booms with World War II, and we had everybody was working, there was people off fighting in the war, there was people back home manufacturing. We had a boom in manufacturing to make planes and to make ammo and guns and things. Like all conflicts, they bring money. That's the part of the war machine in Washington. Again, I don't want to get too political, folks. I know I'm getting Stacey and I were getting it. We love talking about this stuff, so it's hard not to bring it into this show. But we're just trying to talk about, since we are talking about the big picture, we just want you guys to understand there's more to this conflict than just what you guys see. And I think, and I wanted to follow up with Stacey's point real quick earlier. I don't think he fully got to mention it, and that was he was talking about all the media that you're seeing and everything like that. And I think what Stacey was really trying to get at too is that, guys, be patient. Be patient with what you see. Like when you watch TV and you see images of something, could be horrific, but be patient, because usually in 24 hours, and this is what Stacey was talking about earlier, in 24 hours, you may find there's a good chance that what you saw was going to be debunked. Okay. Now, it could be real. So, but give it that little bit of time before you start really like freaking out or jumping on something. Give it a little time and just wait and see. We've had people posting, because now that we live in a day when people can get rich by going viral, guess what? They will put a scene from a video game out there and be like, "This is from Ukraine." And then all of a sudden they got like 5 million views. You know what I'm saying? And now they're like monetized and all this other crap. Of course, a lot of times they're getting shut down because they did false, BS. And so there is usually a back consequence to that. Some people get away with it. So just remember that with all the media out there. So Stacy, you want to? It was your original point. I was just trying to clean it up a little bit since we had gotten into some readings and everything.
Yeah, essentially that's what the point I was trying to make is the cycles right now are 24 hours. 24 hours from now, what you're hearing is going to be completely different, and a lot of what they've already said is going to be debunked. And if you go back and actually look how much information you really do know based off of all the things that have been debunked is almost nothing.
Right.
You don't know almost anything because everything that they've been saying is wrong or outright fraud. The Ghost of Kiev, which was the video game. Then you got the Snake Island, sailors that were all died heroes were actually now they're POWs and doing just fine. It's a lot of the stuff that you're hearing. Who does what? You got TikTokers that are pleading for help, and they say they're in a bunker when they're actually in New Jersey. And a lot of the stuff that is coming out is not real. So
yeah.
The 24-hour cycle, you want to find out what's not real, just wait 24 hours and all the stuff you'll find out.
And we have Mama D Angel Meadows popped in. She said, "Good evening, gentlemen." So we do want
Mama.
to say good evening. I don't know if you're still there. Sometimes people pop in and they pop right out. But if you're still here, if you need a reading or anything, we can certainly do that for you. We are going to be wrapping up the show here real quick. Just
we're almost 2 hours on this.
I know it's crazy. So I wanted to give Mama a chance if she wanted a reading or something. I wanted to give her one chance before we start outroing here.
Mm-hmm.
But as we're waiting on her, I do want to say to anybody that watches this video, thank you so much. I hope you did get all of the messages you were hoping for in here. We did the daily. We did do some stuff on the big picture with Russia and Ukraine and the U.S., all that stuff. So we did a little bit of a few different things. Had some good advice out there. Yes. Still here would love a reading. Okay, so let's do this. Give me 1 second. No, that didn't work out the way.
Almost there. There we go.
There we go. All right. So, Mama, what kind of reading would you like, Mama? Do you need Mama D Angel Meadows? So she's probably that's her probably name. I'm assuming, right? Angel Meadows and your Mama D.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you like to know? Relationships, money, career? What kind of area would you like to have a reading about? I'll give her a second. And I just want to remind folks as we're waiting for Mama to let us know a little more specifics. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this channel, please. This is really helping us get out there. This is helping other people to find out about us. And that's all we ask. Right now, I'm still doing the readings for free. That's going to change soon. But right now we're doing them for free. So all we're asking is spread the word and hit that notification bell so whenever we go live to do readings.
Career.
But hit that notification bell. All right. So Mama D, career. And Angel Metals, that's your name, right? I just want to make sure. Career. And are you wanting to know just overall general guidance on your career? Or is there something specific? Are you worried about a promotion, a meeting? If there's something specific, you can always throw that in there too. All right. So let me clear the deck here for the energy. All right. Let's get you a good shuffle. All right. So, Tarot, Mama D, Angel Meadows. Sorry. I'm trying to talk and do things. Mama D, Angel Metals, yes. She would like some guidance on her career. Could you please give us some guidance on her career? All right. Let us know. right here. Oop. There we go. I'm going to cut the deck. I feel like this one here and this one is what I'm feeling right there. That's the two I feel. All right. So the first thing is we've got the Five of Swords and we have the Eight of Cups. All right. So what I like to do for you, Mama D, is it says just Mama is good. All right, Mama. So Five of Swords. I like to read to you a little bit of this, and I'm going to give you how I feel about this. So the Five of Swords is a defeat. Okay. Defeat an argument. Okay. So I'm going to get into this a little bit here because we also, now before you don't jump to conclusions, we have to clarify. So we have our Eight of Cups to clarify this. All right. So don't panic just yet. All right. Our Eight of Cups means that you must let go of something or someone that was once emotionally important to you, but no longer has any value. The relationship or situation is empty, letting go and moving on. So, honestly, and this may be good. I don't know your situation. I don't know your career. I don't know if you have good hopes for it, bad hopes, but to me, it sounds like you may be moving on from your career in the future. It could come down to maybe arguments, maybe some, when it talks about defeat, meaning maybe you don't achieve some goals, maybe you're bickering with management or you don't agree with maybe some of the management or something. But there's definitely going to be that kind of disagreements when some things don't go that way. And then the clarification is that it will be time to move on at that point when that starts happening. So I hope maybe in your situation, I know it sounds bleak, but things happen for a reason, right? So that's what Tarot's saying. So I hope that helps your mama.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anything in life, you're not going to do it forever. You have to, segue into something else. Your paths will fork, and you need to choose.
And sometimes, I think, sometimes I'll do a reading and it'll feel like maybe I'm feeling like this is negative for that person, but sometimes in their lives they're just like, well, I mean, sometimes if they're honest with themselves, they may see the writing on the wall and they may be like, I can see where this is heading and I was kind of wondering, and that could be. So she said it sounds good. So maybe that's again, maybe that's what she was kind of wanting to confirm. I don't know. So it's always interesting to me. So I hope that does help you though, Mama D. And I'm always here. So come back if you want more readings and in the future. We're doing a lot of these, or I'm doing a lot of them live, and Stacy joins me a few times a week. So other than that, guys, I want to start doing the outro here. I want to start ending some things. We've had a very good show, I think. I really enjoyed, like always. And for those of you that came in here and participated, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming in and allowing us to take part in your personal life. And by doing a reading and things like that, I always want to thank you and tell you that from my wife and myself, and I hopefully can talk for Stacy on this, but we love you guys coming in the chat. It wouldn't be a show without you guys, really. So I love having you guys here. So keep it up. Like, share, subscribe. And you will see me. I'll be doing some more paranormal stuff as we get more into spring through fall. You're going to see a lot more filming, me on location. We'll be doing some ghost hunts. But in the meantime, I love doing the tarot and the readings for you guys. It's so much fun. Sorry I was late. My show just finished. We'll try to get here on time next time. That's okay. Like I said, we do this every 9 o'clock usually. I usually try to go live around 9s most every night, 9 Eastern time. This is good. I'm glad you made it, though. Better late than never, right?
Yeah, subscribe.
Right. Subscribe.
Get the notification bell going.
Exactly. So, Stacey, do you have any last minute things that you wanted to add on anything?
No, I'm just, glad to be here, and it's always fun,
Awesome. Well, maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow, but for sure, I'm going to see you in the next video. And remember, seek the truth.
Peace.